Here is the 2024 Toyota GR Corolla in Ice Cap. This is the premium, which we no longer get the Morizo Edition, which increased torque by 22 pound-feet. With only 3 trims to choose from and 300 horsepower packed underneath this, I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. The excitement from the Corolla starts off with the exterior for the GR because it's a whole body kit. You'll still get the standard LED headlights and daytime runnings. The gloss black elements surround nearly the whole front of the fascia with functional side curtains, a lower splitter, LED fog lights, front and rear parking sensors. I like how they made this more sport to drive. All the fenders flare out. You don't need a wide body because it's going to come standard on the GR Corolla with that 1.6 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged, producing 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque paired to a 6-speed manual transmission, reaching 60 at 4.9 seconds, which is crazy when you're considering the standard Corolla is over 8 seconds, which is almost 50% faster, and a top speed at 142.9 miles per hour. 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels and red brake calipers that's housing a 14-inch disc with 4 pistons in the front. Now that's an option when you go into lower tiers underneath this, and the same thing for the rear. It's a dual piston setup, and the suspension is tuned by GR, so it's still the McPherson strut front and a multi-link rear with a double wishbone rear suspension. GR 4 all-wheel drive system, which is also unique to basically give you a near 50-50 weight distribution. What I'm thinking is, it's crazy. This is a package that you would not expect Toyota to go to this level, because when you go into the GR86, they didn't throw a turbo. They didn't do this type of suspension setup. Even in the rear, they don't do a dual piston in the back. Gloss black around the C-structure LED taillights, and the rear gets the most aggressive Corolla exit. Try exhaust tips, reverse camera, and when you're considering rivals like the Mazda 3 hatchback, get the turbo. This is going to be a little bit faster, and you're sipping fuel with that 3-cylinder turbocharge. And the Civic is going to be more grown up, so when you're thinking this was already the sportiest style hatchback in its class, they just went a step up, gave it the performance that it was missing, and it's still more or less than every day, but it is going to lose some cargo. Quick release to go into a max of 17.8 cubic feet. You'll have some nooks on the side because this is picked up for the battery. You can split fold the rear bench at a 40-20-40 split, which you'll just remove this privacy cover here. We need to go inside, start up this GR so you can hear that exhaust note. Six-way manual seat adjustment for the driver, 4-way manual adjustment for the passenger. It's a synthetic heated front seats, GR badging. The bolstering is going to be a little bit more sport derived. Headroom and leg room. The GR Corolla is going to have a little bit more space. You're going to have sports pedals, leather around the manual shifter with driving modes, which we'll get to in a second. The JBL sound system, it's 8 speakers that will be on this tier and up. The core will be 6 speakers, 8-inch infotainment with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, and we have a reverse camera. The lines will not move. Climate control settings, wireless QR charger, which is on this trim. The core will not have it. The heated seats and a USB right there. GR4, leather around the manual shifter, and the key fob for the GR Corolla. You have another USB right here and a 12-volt that's both accessible for the rear occupants, and a little storage that you could put maybe a cell phone. Leather wrapped steering wheel. It's heated, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, GR badging, and the cross stitch with a standard 12.3 digital gauge cluster that can go through an array of information for the driver. And when you change the driving modes, it will change the layout of the gauge cluster. Now you can also do custom, which you'll go into the infotainment, click your settings, and you can put it as sport derived for the powertrain, steering, and the air condition for eco or normal. The door panel will configure into the dash, and it's going to have the same materials that is pretty much throughout the center of the dashboard. One touch up and down for the windows, soft to touch where it needs to be, and a medium-sized storage pocket that can fit a couple beverages. For the back seats, headroom is not going to be a problem, but legroom, for two people it's not bad, but it's going to be against the back of the front seats in the position I'd be sitting. You'll have storage behind both of the front seats. The floor is not completely flat, armrests with cup holders, and the door is going to have the same materials that's in the front, except you only have a beverage holder carved out. We're going to attempt to slide into the center, but I have to actually pick my legs up quite a bit. You're going to be sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space. It's going to be hard if I'm driving or anyone that's at 6'3". Sharing butt and shoulder space, and headroom is also going to be pretty tight. 300 horsepower out of this 1.6 liter 3-cylinder turbocharge. She is fast. Under 5 seconds, 0 to 60, over 140 miles per hour top speed. This is a Corolla. It's basically on steroids, that's the way I would like to call it. And you're still able to sip fuel on your daily use, or you can give it a little bit of performance. This is not track worthy, but they have went far above and beyond, because when I'm thinking about the GR86, they've increased the price a little bit, and it is a great vehicle, but this takes it to another level because they don't give you some of the components in which you get here, plus you're getting 300 horsepower. That itself, when you're thinking Corolla statistics, you have a smaller vehicle and you're getting that much power underneath it. It already is a sporty looking car because the Corolla is one of the sportiest hatchbacks in its class. The steering is going to have a little bit more weight, and that's also derived because the whole suspension layout has been changed. It is a little bit more tuned, so you will feel a little bit more of the imperfections in the drive, but it's still something smooth. You gotta go up, honey. Go up, baby. Go up. There you go. You could go up. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Now you can see what's going on. Wow. And to get back into traffic on your daily, and that's what I mean by fast. Usually a Corolla, 8-9 seconds. You're going to be passing everybody. Now, it's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting with the pros is the fact that they've actually made such a sports car, and it's just a touch over $40,000. So you're getting the suspension upgrade, you're getting the brakes, you're getting the turbocharged engine underneath the hood. There's just a lot going in. And then in the interior, wireless charging pad, you have the sports bolstered seats, which make it more fun for that weekend cruiser or even for an everyday. They bolster good in the sense that it's not too sporty, so it does a good job contouring against your back. Some cons about the vehicle is you're losing quite a bit of cargo capacity, but then you're still saving on the fuel, so I can kind of offset that. Back seat is also going to suffer quite a bit compared to the standard Corolla, in which that Corolla was still kind of tight for the back seat. Going against rivals, Honda is going to look way too grown up when you're comparing it to this. And I understand you can get the SI, you can get the Type R, you're starting to go over $50,000. This is just over $40,000. Going to Volkswagen, it's the same thing. The price starts escalating quite a bit. The only vehicle that would be kind of comparable in price to this, the Mazda 3 hatch, in which you're not getting the same suspension setup as this. So this can be a little bit quicker in the speed, especially if you're doing some bends in the road. And that's going to take me to the big problem that I have. This year they have erased any special edition variants for the GR Corolla, in which I know it's only 22 pound-feet of torque more, but it still has more power. And when you're getting this variant, any little increase makes it just a little bit more special. It's also very hard to find on lots. For 23, I was not even able to find one, so I was very pleased that we have this model to actually show you. But then when you're starting to consider which trim should you go, I would say pick this one, because you're right in the middle and you're just a touch over 40 grand. You're not going to be spending as much going into the circuit Turn radius at a stop point. It's gonna be about 2 and apart lane. Oh, she is quick, does her thing, and then you just throw it into 6th gear so you don't have to hear the exhaust. But then you're gonna hear some road noise. Visibility is good. You do sit lower to the ground. I kind of wish that the door panels were raised up a little bit more so, only because it would give it a little bit more of a sport feel, because when I'm sitting in these seats, I feel like I'm in a little sports car, in which it almost puts you into a Mini Cooper feel. It's just you're not gonna have that wheelbase, so you don't have the go-kart feel, but you have that rally feel with performance that's near track driven. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Gettle Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2024 Toyota GR Corolla for our car review.